Silong Phineas and Ferb. 104 days of summer vacation na ilaha pero among quarantine kinabdan siya ga 112 days. So, hi everyone, this is Grisha from Third World Book Nerd. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, this is where we talk about books, reading, and the nerd life in the Philippines. And lately, the life during quarantine in the Philippines. As is custom in our channel, it has been a couple of months since we shot our last video.
Excuse me, you wanna buy photo plan?
And for your reference, that last video was shot 1 month into the enhanced community quarantine that the government has placed over the entire Philippines. And now we're shooting this in July, and I am so very pleased to announce that we are still in community quarantine. Welcome everyone to the longest quarantine lockdown in the world. At first, quarantines started, it was with a sense of fear for sure, but there was also a sense of hopefulness, like, okay, it's just gonna be 2 weeks, it's gonna be for the good of all. How wrong we were. During the first few weeks of quarantine, it was all about, oh, okay, there's a new bread recipe, let's try that. Oh, we're making empanadas, good call. Oh, I have new books from Penguin Random House. Cool beans, I'm gonna read them all. Ooh, there's a new Zoom background, I'm gonna download that. But then later it kind of progressed into, oh, our government is not fit to handle this situation. Or, oh, we are actually kind of doomed. Or, oh, I got into a fight with our barangay captain because he's not doing his job. So, that's kind of the trajectory of our current story. So, it's been wild to say the least. But I guess we also have a lot of things to be thankful for. We're thankful that we are here at home. We're thankful that we still have a job. We get to work from home. We get to be with family. Tad man na taning ni istoryanan ako di na ka pwede mo istorya. Kasabot ka. Tawa di why sports bra rip. Being able to take a step back from real life in times like these is indeed a privilege, and I'm so lucky and thankful to be still filming this video about books. But I don't think that gratitude is enough really. So if you're watching this video, I'm urging you guys to also please donate to causes that would help the people who are most affected by this situation. This whole thing is far from over, so this video, it's just a quick detour, but let's not forget to chip in and help whenever we can. Okay, so with that out of the way, here are the books that I have read during the world's longest quarantine period ever. I have read a grand total of 8 books from March to July. That's already a lot for me, okay? Don't judge me. I haven't been reading a lot. Well, I have been reading a lot, but I haven't been finishing a lot. So, whatever. Also, I've been reading a lot of fan fiction. So, if you really think about it, fan fiction counts. So, I've been reading more than 8. The first book that I have read is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, ma'am. But yeah, that's the first book that I have read. You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel is a romantic comedy contemporary story. So it's kind of friends to lovers to enemies to lovers. So that's the progression of this book. Naomi and Nicholas, they have been engaged to each other for quite some time, but they're in this point in their engagement where their love kind of feels not like how it used to during the honeymoon phase of their relationship. And now, somehow, they're trying to sabotage each other to have their wedding called off. So that's kind of the gist. This book was kind of a hit or miss for me, although I admittedly am a big fan of second chance romances. The beginning part of this book was just like a migraine waiting to happen. Kanang wako kasabot nga no immature kay silang duha. Like this book, it deals with people who are in their late 20s, early 30s, but then they act like they're teenagers, or like they act very very childishly. Like dahil sa murag tinuod gyud ni nga maabot kag ingani nga age nga imong communication skills kay pang toddler lang gihapon nga kanang you react through tantrums and being petty and stuff. For the most part, the humor really works on this one. Pero getting there was really a tough job. You have to have a lot of faith in this book to continue on reading. It's funny, sure, but the voices are so very distinct. You hear it in your head so loudly. It's like somebody talking right in your ear. But after that, it's funny, it's romantic, it's cute, quirky even. So if you just persevere through the first couple of chapters, it will be it's a good story. I'll give it a 3.5. So that is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Howell. The next book that I read is Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. Call Down the Hawk is the first in the Dreamer trilogy. This is a spin-off of The Raven Cycle, and this time it stars Ronan and his two brothers, Declan and Matthew. So Ronan is by far my favorite character in the original trilogy because, I don't know, he's just the one. No, he is the most interesting character. On the outside, he is the embodiment of anarchy. He appears to hate everything around him. But the truth is that Ronan is actually one of the most loyal characters, and he fiercely cares about the people around him. Ronan is like a very, very aggressive Capricorn. Sorry, I have to change the light because I ran out of natural light, so whatever. Anyway, so Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. There were things that I liked about it, and there were things that I didn't like about it. Overall, it's still a good read, especially if you've been a long-time fan of Maggie Stiefvater. Pero di ni mo ikalimod, char. What a deep. Di ka deny nga na parts of it nga maglibog ka gamay. I loved visiting the old dreamscapes of the Raven Cycle, which was actually one of the best parts of that trilogy. Ronan made a huge impact in the Raven Cycle, and to see it continue to this next trilogy was somehow very refreshing. Very, so what's gonna happen now? What are the changes? How have they changed? Ganun. So yun. Gusto ko siya, tita. In this book, we're also revisiting kanang old characters that we thought we knew, but this story actually kind of sheds a new light to them. So that has been fun. The thing that I didn't like, or the thing that prevented me from having a super smooth read, was that naay elements sa libro nga it was actually a bit confusing. I don't know if I'm just dumb or like kanang di ko kaget of metaphors, or like slow lang yun akong brain kay sige na ko, I don't know, pantrabaho nga nakutdan akong brain cells, wala siya nitubo balik. Pero there are some elements of the book that I had a hard time grasping it. The book centers around the concept of identity, who you truly are. And there are some characters that take this actually quite literally. And for me, it was really kind of na-appeal ko sa ilang confusion. As a reader, you will be included in these characters' identity crisis, literal identity crisis. The identity crisis that happens in this book, ironically, doesn't apply to Ronan anymore. Which is quite funny, kay sa Raven Cycle nga series, it was Ronan who was like struggling with his identity, right? But in this book, we actually see Ronan kind of embrace who he truly is, and then everyone around him coming to terms with who they are. So it was a nice kind of contrast and character development to Ronan. So yeah, the book is actually kind of more violent than the previous ones. Really, it is. It's kind of there's a bit of graphic elements to it, but I'll let you find that out for yourself. Pero for me, that's Call Down the Hawk. And it was an enjoyable read, truly. It just requires you to think a bit, and it just so happens nga akong brain cells kay opos la katubo balik. Opos la grow balik. So aragi kan akong difficulty while finishing this book. But overall, it's a really good read. Highly recommended, especially if you're a Maggie Steve Potter fan. So that's it. The next book that I read, it's called The Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd. The central character is a woman named Anna. She lived in the first century, and in this book, she is the wife of a certain Jesus of Nazareth. So, like, it's fiction. But there are some elements in this book nga makahilak siya do, as in nga kana like towards the end of it, I was like crying for everyone. The story was so well researched, was very lovingly crafted and created. It was so respectful. And to think, like, Jesus is just a side character in this book. The book actually focuses on Anna, who Anna is, how women were treated during the first century, and how this girl, this woman, who's so full of longings, survived that era and the many rough patches in her life. Ang yan relationship with Jesus basically is just a Marisha, it plays a huge part of the story, but it's the book as a whole is so much more than that. Sometimes when you deal with like controversial topics like this, it's always in the lens of, oh my god, you won't believe that this happened, and ana gani. Like Dan Brown, I'm looking at you, bro. Pero kani nga libro kay gipahimutang siya, tarong siya pagka-make. The author, I believe, took about 4 years just to research this book. So Anna, during her life, she experiences the full gamut of feelings, emotions, experiences as a woman. And there are different kinds of women that she encounters along her journey as well. This has been so far one of the best books that I have read this year. So that's that. If you encounter the Book of Longings and have read it, please let me know what you think about it, because I really liked this book. Okay, sure, it made me cry, but good tears all around. So yun, that's it, pansit. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna have to cut this video into 2 parts. I'm just trying out some things and maybe some accountability on actually producing more content, especially during these times. So I hope you like the 3 books that I have read so far this quarantine season. I still owe you 5 books that we will discuss, and hopefully by then, I hope that my list has grown more than 8. So that's it, Pansit. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Please leave a comment below on what you think about this whole situation, and please send your thoughts and prayers to my beloved island, Cebu, that it would hopefully get out of this bind already, because I can't continue seeing her like this. It's like, it's breaking my heart. But anyhow, that's it for today. I'll see you on part 2, and thanks so much for hanging out with me. Okay, yun lang. See you, bye.